What are some sacrifices that you've had to make along the journey? I mean, a lot of people know how successful you are, you know how successful you are, but there's a lot that goes behind the scenes that people don't see. What are some sacrifices that it has taken for you to get to this point?
I'm at the office most times till 4 or 5 in the morning, coming home, sleeping a couple hours, going back and forth. And it's tough because I've got 5 kids, I've got a wife. And so a lot of it is like the sacrifice of time from them, which is hard. Because like I can sacrifice, like I'm a wrestler, I'm used to like beating myself up and starving, cutting weight. But it's harder is like when you're away, it's a sacrifice for them. And so that's been the harder thing for me is like, how do I balance that sacrifice, right? Where it's like, I need to be a present dad, a present father. So it's like in the morning time before school, I got to be there with him. Leave home school, I got to be there with him. But if I'm going to be a present dad and I have to go and change the world, it's like I gotta work hard during the day, and then when they go to bed at night, I gotta work hard into the night so I can do all the things, right? The question for me is, how do I have it all? How can I be a great entrepreneur and a husband and a father and someone who has spirituality in my life? How do I do all those different things? And it's usually you have to sacrifice something, right? And
what's your advice to someone going through that? Like that's a very real problem for any parent. I would say any parent or any high achiever who wants to have a family and a life and all that.
Everything really great in my life came during times of radical imbalance. And I think about like when I was wrestling and I wanted to be a great wrestler, like my life was radically imbalanced. Like I barely graduated from school because I can't do school and have a job and be a great wrestler. All my focus goes here and the least amount of effort goes here and here, right? When I met my wife, same thing. It's like I got radically balanced towards her. That's how we created a great relationship initially. All my free time, all my energy, all my everything was there. We have kids, the same thing. When I started the business, we launched ClickFunnels, like we were radically imbalanced for a long period of time trying to get things off but it's just coming back to like understanding that if you do it for too long, it'll destroy everything else, right? And that's the hard thing that a lot of people aren't able to juggle. And I see it all the time where people like, they start being really successful and they're doing it initially because like, I want to create this life for my wife and my kids. They become so successful, right? And then they lose the wife and the kids. It's like, you lost the thing that you were fighting for. And so for me, it's like being aware of that, like, okay, radical imbalance, we're doing this thing, but getting everyone on board. Like Colette, my wife, like for the next 2 weeks, an event, I got to kill myself. When it's done, we're going to go take a week off and go do this. Or when we're done, we're going to do this. And like everybody knows. And then they're all part of the same team. And then it's like, hey, I'm going to war. I'm going to war, do the thing. But then it's like coming back so you don't lose the reason why you're doing it. I think that's the tragedy of entrepreneurship so many times is you see people who lose the thing they were trying to create this whole thing for in the beginning.
I see like in your eyes and your face as you're speaking, like you're moving at 100 miles an hour. Do you do anything to ever slow down?
I had 2 friends yesterday ask me, did you meditate? I probably should.
Well, you already know you're one of the best marketers ever. People pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars just to give them advice and tweak their businesses. So you've come across tons of businesses in your life. In your opinion, what differentiates a great one that you think can last and can succeed versus one that might not?
There's a lot of little things that matter. The mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make initially is that they're obsessed with like the product they're creating as opposed to like who's the customer they're serving, right? Like that was my biggest mistake initially. Is I was so focused on these products I was creating, trying to sell them. I wasn't thinking about them. And so because of that, there were a lot of hits and misses and things like that. And when I shifted my focus to like, okay, here's the people I'm serving, and then listening to them, like, what are they looking for? What are they struggling with? Like all of our best ideas came from that. Like ClickFunnels came from, we were serving entrepreneurs and they were struggling and like, we can't figure out how to do these things. Like, let's build software, makes it easier. And it comes from like focusing on the customer, not on the product. Like,
so you find that a lot, I guess, when you're talking to people, when you're just looking at things, it's focused on the product and not the actual person.
And you can tell because people come with me, like they'll join our coaching program, like, hey, dude, check out my product. I'm like, and they're so excited. And I'm like, who are you serving? And like, what do you mean? Like they don't know the answer. Versus someone comes to me and they come to me like, hey, I'm the best in the world at whatever. Like this is who I serve. This is who I'm obsessed with. Like how do we grow a business? Like that's such an easier thing to help with. Like, oh, cool. We know who your dream customers are. You know who you're passionate about serving. Like that's the right way to look at it, which is backwards from I think how most business teach. Like you look at what they teach in business school and stuff. It's the opposite of that. So
I went to business school. It didn't teach me much.
It's funny. Somebody asked me one time, they asked me like, do you have an MBA? And I laughed. At the time I had 2 that were working for me and we fired them both because they were horrible. I'm like, no, like why would I have an MBA? So no.
If I'm sitting here and I'm at a crossroads in my life, I'm feeling stuck in my life and I'm asking myself, I want to start a business. I want to change my life. I want to get going. How would you recommend someone navigate that to go from maybe where they are right now that they're not thrilled about to where they want to be?
the first thing I would focus on is it's looking where you are right now. And this is what's so hard for most people is every single person on this earth has certain gifts they've been given, right? And the problem is that whatever our gifts are, because we're good at them, most people understand that's a superpower. And so they discount, for example, for me, someone comes to me and they show me their business. I'm like, oh, this is the funnel. This is what I would do. And I just know it because I've done it for 2 decades. It's like second nature to me. And then other people are like, how do you know, what do I do, right? And they'll literally pay $100 grand a day to come out and have me map out a funnel for them. This is insane. I'm like, this is so simple. How in the world, So whatever your superpower is,
You'll take it though.
Yeah. As long as the check cashes, I will take it. Yeah. But that's the problem is that whatever our superpower is, we underestimate it because it's not that big to us. So it's first off, understand what is your superpower? A lot of times you have to ask somebody else, what would you say my superpower is? My wife is the nicest person ever. But for her, she in her head, she thinks she's so mean. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're the nicest person I've ever met. That's her superpower. A lot of times it's easier for other people to tell you. That's number one. Number two then is realizing that I talked about earlier, dream customer, who's your dream customer, right? Typically your dream customer is you 5 years ago. Right? Every single person like you or me, who we went through, we had successes and failures and trials, all sorts of stuff that made us become who we are, who we figured our superpower. And now what we're selling is us 5 years ago. Based on what you've learned and discovered who you become, you're going back in time and finding people who were just like you were struggling because now you know the blueprint and the plan. And that's the key. And so, yeah, those are the things I look at.